This is the Louie Tee Network.
Who else could it be but me, your me, Louie T? Welcome to lockdown coverage, week number 13 in the National Football League. Detroit Lions on the road taking on the New Orleans Saints. Big game for the Lions. They want to win this division in the NFC North. Gonna have to win games on the road against high-octane offenses like the New Orleans Saints. And they were able to go on the road, and I'm gonna tell you what, Lions have won some games this season, some improbable comeback victories. Every game up until this game had come down to the wire. They had been trailing in every game in the fourth quarter that they had won this season. This might have been as impressive as any victory they've had all season. And they've had some thrilling come-from-behind victories, improbable, like Minnesota late, where they had to go to overtime to win that game. This game was through and through, start to finish, a dominant performance by this Lions football team, and not where you would expect it to have been. And we'll talk about that here in a second. But first, quickly, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the Louie Tee Network. Simple as that. If you haven't already done so, we're changing the game over here. Subscribe to the Louie Tee Network. Also, I'm on Twitter, @InTheLabRoom is the Twitter handle. And I'm also on Facebook. In the Lab Room is the Facebook page. All my social media platforms up above in the screen, scrolling across so you can't miss them. Let's jump into this breakdown quickly. We'll start with the victors in this game in the Detroit Lions on the road. They always seem to play well in the Superdome. So this wasn't a surprise to me. I actually was leaning heavily towards picking them in this game, and I failed to do so, and I should have picked them because Matthew Stafford isn't afraid of going into the Superdome and winning. We've seen him do this before and done it with relative ease as well. And the way they're playing football right now, this team is building confidence. I talk about this all the time with teams and how winning begets confidence, confidence begets winning, and I call it a vicious and beautiful cycle that teams want to go through each and every single season. And I think the Lions are starting to go through that cycle as we speak. Now they're starting to build confidence. They're expecting to win. And when you expect to win in this league, good things happen for you. When you expect to lose, when you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, when you're waiting for something bad to happen, you usually lose football games. And the Lions simply aren't waiting for anything bad to happen. Now they know that, look, either we're going to go out and win, or we can be down late, but we're still going to win because Matthew Stafford's going to take us down the field. And so they've got supreme confidence in their ability to find a way to win if they can just keep it close. Well, this game wasn't close. And when it actually got close, I thought that was the decisive drive of the game. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But let's run down every note that I took in this game quickly for the Detroit Lions in the first half. I love the start to the game, 10-0, right out of the gates. They took it to the New Orleans Saints. They really were able to move the football effectively, got into the end zone, settled for a field goal on another one. And really, if not for the Saints and their red zone defense, this game is a lot worse off than the actual final score ended up being. This could have easily have been a 40-burger put on the skulls of the Saints if they don't get stops in the red zone and force the Lions to kick field goals. But the hot start to the game offensively, Stafford was magnificent early in this game. He was not missing some really needle-threading type of throws in the early portion of this game on some critical third downs to extend drives and ultimately get into the end zone. And so I thought he was absolutely outstanding early in this game. The Lions defense needs to be given credit. I'm going to talk more about this Lions defense in the second half, but I will say this. The first half, Drew Brees, at one point going into his final drive, and I don't remember what he did on that final drive, but at one point, 34 passing yards was going to be his lowest mark of his career for a first half. And I know they got the football once more. I don't know if they were able to do anything with it or not. But I know that defense, and again, give some credit to the offense for playing a little bit of ball control, keeping the football out of Brees' hands in the first half. Doesn't matter. When he did get the football, that defense was lights out. Didn't allow him any space to breathe. And we'll talk more about that defense in the second half. Speaking of which, let's get to some of the offensive guys that I thought did some big things. And then we're going to start with Matthew Stafford. I just thought he was outstanding. This was, to me, his best performance of the season. 30 of 42, over 300 yards. No mistakes in this game. Every clutch, critical throw that he had to make in this game, he made it. And the one for me that did it, the one that made me say, wow, and we've seen Matthew Stafford make a bunch of jaw-dropping throws throughout his career, whether he throws it sidearm or whether he drills it into a tight space off of his back foot. His mechanics has never been lauded or praised as being the best in the league. But there's a throw in this game. Saints go down, score a touchdown. This thing is 19 to 13, okay? Saints are right back in this game. And in my mind, I'm saying Saints can win this game 20 to 19. They could do what the Lions have been doing to everyone else this season to them. Give them a little bit of taste of their own medicine in this game after the Saints were able to score a touchdown and cut this thing to a one-score game at 19 to 13. The Saints get the Lions in a 3rd and long situation, and their defensive coordinator decides, Dennis Allen decides, I'm going to turn the heat up on Matthew Stafford's ass. We're coming after him. We're going to heat him up, and we're going to see if we can't force him into a mistake, force him into an errant throw, or force him into an incomplete pass, get off the field, get the football back to the offense who just scored their first touchdown of the game, and see if we can't take the lead. We got a little bit of momentum. Crowd's getting in the game. Let's see if we can't get them off the field here with either a turnover or a punt. And they hit home. The blitz comes scot-free. Matthew Stafford under heavy duress, and he lets it rip, knowing he's going to take a shot, and boy, does he ever take a shot on this play. And he throws it down the field to Golden Tate, who is wide open. What B.W. Webb is doing in coverage there, don't ask me, but if you're at home and you're a cornerback, a young kid watching, do not do what he did on this play. His eyes got him in trouble. He's being nosy. He's in the backfield. If you're playing cover 3, deeper than the deepest, your responsibility to not let anybody behind you there. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if he was playing sticks. I don't know. Again, eyeballs, eye discipline, lack thereof. And Golden Tate free behind him. Stafford hits him. He's able to then cut back across the grain, make 2 defenders miss, get into the end zone on about a 60-yard, 65-yard touchdown. And that was the defining play of this game, because after that touchdown, this game was over. That was the backbreaker. The Saints pushed all their chips to the middle of the table on that one play. They said, hey, we're going for broke here. And really, that coverage should not have been busted. It shouldn't have resulted in a touchdown like that, but it did, because, again, when you got guys not honoring their responsibility, those kinds of defensive breakdowns happen. And Golden Tate, one of the best in the league after the catch. We know this to be a fact, as he leads the league in most yards after the catch yet again. So this is what this man does. And after he caught the football, he showed why he leads the league in yards after the catch, scores a touchdown there. And that was a huge play in this game. And I thought that was the play for me that did it for me, and said, damn, Matthew Stafford is on right now. He's got it on tilt right now. Okay. And I know he's not going to win, but I think he's one of those guys that should be easing his name into that MVP discussion. I know he's not going to win, but he should have his name mentioned. When we start talking about people and players that deserve to be up for discussion as far as MVP is concerned, Stafford's name needs to be pushed into that discussion, as now the Lions are 8-4 on the season. And let's TJ Jones, how about him stepping in for Marvin Jones in this game, and TJ Jones stepping up and making some big catches in this ball game as well. Good to see one of the young fellas get yanked up off the practice squad and have an impact on the game. And then the Lions defense, let's talk about them, because I thought they were the stars. After Matthew Stafford, they were the stars of the game. They absolutely shut down a prolific, dynamic, explosive Saints offense at home. Now, again, when you get the Saints on the road, you may be able to turn them over. You may be able to force them into a mistake or two. But when they're at home, they are usually one of the most dangerous teams offensively in the league. And they went in, did the Lions, and shut those boys down. Okay, when I say shut them down, Drew Brees, no touchdown passes. When's the last time Drew Brees has done that? Remember, he holds the NFL record for most consecutive games with a touchdown pass. Now, that streak has been snapped long ago, but I'm saying that just lets you know that this guy doesn't go normally a game without a touchdown pass. No touchdowns. 3 interceptions in this game for Drew Brees. He struggled mightily, and it was all because of this Lions defense. They were peeling on his ass. They hit him. They harassed him. They forced him off his spot. And when he decided, I'm going to take matters into my own hand and play hero ball, they picked him off. Well, Glover Quinn with a pick with Drew Brees, 3rd and long, thinking, I'm going to drill this in here. No, you're not. Picked off. Late in the game, another pick on a beautiful zone drop by one of the line defenders. It was just a great defensive performance by the Detroit Lions. And if they can get this out of their defense, coupled with the play they got out of Stafford in this game, this is a scary Lions group moving forward. And again, got to get this consistency going from this Lions group. But this was a very thorough ass kicking here on the road for the Lions over the Saints. Let's go to the Saints real quick. Tommy Lee Lewis had a nice punt return that led to the first points of the game for the Saints as they get a field goal. The red zone defense, I talked about this already. It was stellar in this game. If not for the red zone defense, this is a blowout of epic proportions, not just 28-13. We're talking 38-13. We're talking 41-13. If this red zone defense isn't as good as it was in this game, the Lions at one point had gotten into the red zone 5 times and only had 1 touchdown to show for it at one point. So again, the red zone defense was the only reason this game was even within striking distance at 19-6 at one point in this game. So again, kudos to the Saints for finding a way to bend but not break in the red zone. But eventually you're going to need some help from your offense, and you usually get that. Didn't happen in this game. Sterling Moore dropped an opportunity to really change this game. Early on, you got the Lions in a situation where they look like they're going to get points, and they ultimately get a field goal out of that possession. But you've got a chance to erase that opportunity with a turnover. And you don't get it much easier in this league than this. Ball comes off the hands of a receiver right into the air. And this is literally a fair catch opportunity for Sterling Moore. And I'm thinking he's thinking crib, house call. And before you can even think about a house call, you got to first pick up the phone. And he never picked up the phone. So that's a bad miss there. You got to pick that off. And that's what losing teams do. That's what 5 and 7 teams do. They don't take advantage of opportunities. Stafford not going to give you many opportunities to pick them off, so you got to take that one, and they didn't. And again, I thought that was one of those situations where it's a little bit of a microcosm of the season of the Saints. Things just not going their way sometimes, and that was a missed opportunity there. The turnovers, huge problem. 3 of them for the Saints offense. Look, it's one thing not to score. It's one thing not to help out your defense by at least sustaining offense. It's another thing to turn it over and give up short fields. Can't do that in this league, or you're going to cost your team, and that's what happened in this game. And then the defense, I thought the defense was pretty bad in the second half. They let the Lions move it up and down the field all game long, but that one possession that I spoke of, you can't have a defensive breakdown there. If Dennis Allen is going to entrust that everyone do their job and send the house, you have to be responsibility sound there. You can't have your eyes in the backfield and let Golden Tate behind you and give up a touchdown when you're blitzing on 3rd and long. That's a big no-no there, and the defense gave it up. And you had all the momentum. That was the loudest the crowd was all game long, and you gave it up there, and that's unfortunate. Saints lose, drop to 5 and 7. Golden opportunity with the Falcons losing, with the Bucs having a tough one out in San Diego. Big opportunity for you to get back 500 at 6 and 6, give yourself a chance, and instead you really piss away an opportunity. For the Lions, this was dominant. 8 and 4. This looked good. This looked like a team that's poised to win a division. All right, all those come from behind victories and all that stuff is cute. It's nice, but it's not what you expect out of a division winner. This looks like a team that says, hey, look, this is me. We win in this division. That's us. Yeah, that's us. We going to do that. This was impressive. Let's get to some of your comments. Mindraw says, hold on, let me get to some of these comments. How is it the worst defense in the NFL? I'm so happy, man. Look, I don't know who called the Lions defense the worst defense, because the only reason you're in ball games late is because of that defense. You're not scoring a ton of points this season. You haven't been. So the defense has been doing their job. That was impressive, though. That was very impressive. The BE says, okay, we're not talking Cardinals football right now. Eduardo O'Neal says, haven't picked the Lions since that win in Mini. It's working out for you, man. Keep it going. I know you hate to take L's, but you got to do what you got to do. Your boys are playing ball, so do what you do. Mindraw says, fun fact, last 5 games, Lions D has given up at most 20 points. Like I said, every game I look up, it's 19, it's 16, it's 13. This defense is playing ball, so I don't know who's calling this the worst defense in the league. I haven't met a person that said that yet, but if they are saying that, then, again, there's your fun fact for you right there. But obviously, I'm watching these games. I see the results. This defense is playing football. So quietly, no one's giving the Lions defense any respect because of all the late comebacks. But the reason those comebacks are even possible is because of this defense. All right. Moving right along. I'm going to get a couple more of these Redskins game back on, so you know I'm about to roll on y'all. Who Dat for Life says, I know the Saints need another DN, but how does Reuben Foster to the Saints sound? Again, I can't talk college with you right now. I'm not in that mode. I have to watch these guys on tape. So, again, I can't even talk college with you because I'm in full NFL swing right now. I don't know specific players. I know teams. I don't know specific players until I get to that mindset when I start breaking down these players. Minddraw says, I just love how everybody says that our last minute magic has to end and then we dominate. LOL. Yeah, and look, stop worrying about what I keep telling you this every week. Stop worrying about what everybody else is saying, man. Just keep winning. It doesn't matter how you win. You win by 1, you win by 21. A win's a win's a win in the National Football League. Don't give a damn what anybody's saying, man. I don't care. You shouldn't either. Don't care. Don't care. Minddraw says Saints DBs need to stop wearing 40 numbers. Yeah, those are bad. I never like my DBs in 40s, man. Unless you're a safety, I don't want to see you in a 40 jersey. That's ugly, man. So, yeah, I agree, man. They got to stop doing that, man. That's not cool. Minddraw also says the 61 games with at least one TD streak by Breeze was ended. Oh, was that today? I didn't know if he had the streak going or what, but yeah, I mean, I can't confirm nor deny that. Guys always tell me stuff in these comments and then they turn out to be wrong as hell. That may be true. I can't confirm nor deny that, but I know Breeze is a dude that throws touchdowns every game. So to see him not throw a touchdown pass, that is almost hard to believe that he didn't. And he came close with the Cooks near touchdown, but again, the 3 takeaways, no touchdowns, that's impressive by this Lions defense. This was an impressive performance overall, and like I said, if the defense can play like this, this is a scary Lions group here. And Minddraw says, how do you like the Z-Man in the fourth quarter milking the clock? It's funny to watch Zach Zenner out there getting it done on the ground as they're trying to put the game away, and I'm seeing the Z-Man, Zach Zenner, coming out there and running a rock and getting 5 a pop. I'm like, is this really happening? Yeah, it's really happening. Zach Zenner is milking the clock right now. So, yeah, that was impressive, man. All phases of the game, Lions dominate, win the football game 28-13. It could have been a lot worse if they could have performed in the red zone, but nonetheless, they get the win, go to 8-4 in the season, and they're playing their best football right now at the most critical juncture of the season, and that's a good sign for the Lions. Meanwhile, for the Saints, I think this was the last straw here for your season. You needed to win this game, and again, your division is still wide-ass open, and as bad as this looked, you're still only 2 games back, and you still got the Buccaneers twice, still got I think, if I'm not mistaken, you already played the Panthers twice. And I know you got the Falcons one more time. So there's still games ahead of you that can give you a shot. But you're going to need to start winning some games. This one was one that you should have been able to try to get at home because you don't want to waste the home ones. This is a tough one to swallow. But in any event, it's going to do it for this breakdown. Lions get it done again. They're playing great football, 8-4. 28-13 winners over the Saints on the road. Saints dropped to 5-7 with this loss. And again, a critical loss because the Falcons lose and the Buccaneers have a tough one out in San Diego. This could have been a great opportunity to make some headway in that wide open NFC South division. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join your man Louie Tee as I continue to break down anything and everything in the National Football League. This is lockdown coverage. Remember, we're changing the game one live feed at a time. I will see you guys at the conclusion of the Redskins and the Cardinals. See you then. Enjoy the game.